without an intro song because as we were pressing that, I just am going live to YouTube right now. So we're getting our live fans coming in slowly here. But we're working class men right now. See, I got the YouTube going. I'm on my phone in the hotel room. We got the Wi-Fi that's probably going to cut out eventually. But, we work through these kind of things. That's what we do.
It's what we do. We're always in other parts of the world. So thanks, James, for trucking through. I just want to start the show by saying unbelievable shirt choice you chose to wear tonight. Dude, I don't know where this came from, but it is fucking amazing.
It's incredible. The shorts I got to match too, you would be laughing when you saw me and Ryan walk out of the store today and like not matching me and him, but we both had matching unis on, like a shirt and a short combo. Incredible.
So yeah, YouTube viewers are going to be able to see James in his just magnificent Hawaiian shirt. He hasn't done the top button either. He's on vacation right now. Looks like he should be drinking a Mai Tai heading to a luau right now.
It felt like we should have been going to the beach for a drink. Yeah, a nice evening drink, maybe a stroll along the sand. I got a drink in my hand right now. Come on now.
You're just on vacation. I love it.
Vacation in Rock Hill, South Carolina. What a place to do it.
Pro Gate Europe. Winning starts with a great gate. Ryan Tougas, unbelievable starter. He's going to just rip some off this weekend. No doubt.
I don't know if you guys remember what happened last year. You just got a taste of what was happening last year. I think you're getting the real deal this weekend. I mean, his starts have been incredible training lately. I'll tell you. So we got back to training at Abbotsford, Pro Gate Europe, of course. Can you hear that background noise?
No. That's
fine. Then we're good. We get back to training at Abbotsford, Pro Gate Europe, new RAM, unbelievably fast, fantastic. I'm feeling decent. Like I'm still, I'm getting back into things. It feels like I haven't had the time on the bike I'd like to, but I'm feeling decent. Ryan hops back on with me since Florida. He was off with an injury, crashed in Florida. He hopped back in first day, smoking me, dude. His gates are on fire. He's like, come on, I don't know what I'm doing out there. So, yeah.
I don't think people understand how big of a fucking talent this kid is. And I can't wait. Wait until you people see him just wreak fucking havoc in the elite men class.
It's incredible. If he, be warned. I think we've said it before, he's going to be a problem. I don't think he's been the problem we've been talking about yet, and he's already been showing some stuff.
He's barely scratched the surface to what he could do.
Yeah, I think you made a post about it today. His ceiling there is no ceiling yet.
He doesn't have a ceiling. I don't think you people know how fast Ryan is.
It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see this kid lay down some speed. He had a really good race last year in Rock Hill. Won his whole shot as semi from 6 in his first ever elite race, something ridiculous like that. And for those of you that don't know, whole shotting from outside, on Rock Hill's first straight, but especially when it's your first elite race is pretty remarkable. So anyway, be good to see him race this weekend. Before we get into things, I want to congrats to Lucas Zhao. 3 out of 3 wins this weekend, 14X in Oregon. So we've been working together the last few months. He's put in some hard work, and man, to sweep a weekend and go 3 for 3, super stoked for him. Good Canadian kid, and man, talk about another mega talent coming out of Canada.
He's ripping, hey?
Yeah. So Lucas, man, awesome rider. He's got some serious first straight pull.
I know, we don't ride with probably him very much at all through the year. Maybe see him once or twice, but I did see one of the times I did see him was a few weeks ago. He came out to Abbey with couple of the other kind of younger Canadian guys, and they hopped on the hill with the guys, and they weren't with us, but they hopped on the hill. We're doing some gates, dude. They're popping them off, and it doesn't surprise me because the kid's an absolute talent on the bike.
Yeah, he's so good. Yeah. I can't wait to keep coaching him and getting him ready for these races coming up. So yeah, congrats to him. Awesome job this weekend.
That race there in Oregon is kind of like a home Canadian national in the US for us Vancouver people. Hey.
It is. Yeah. It's funny. I remember doing that race when I was younger as an amateur.
That's one of the few ones we're not going to travel all over the country, and at least not everyone in Canada is. So the times you do get to go somewhere, it's special. And that's one of the one that's probably an annual thing for most families. So that's cool.
It's funny. It's growing up in BC, we always race people from Washington and whatever, and they always come up and race in Canada. We kind of always race each other.
Yeah. They're the local, they're the neighbors.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's training been going at home?
Training's been all right. We actually had a good week at home, got some sunny sessions in. Some more people commenting that our second straight at home that we changed is not different, but it is different. So that's cool. It is what it is. Got a couple sessions in here at Rock Hill. Crazy what a difference it is to get on a track that's been completely hard packed. At home in like the March season where it's like, yes, it's good riding weather, but you can tell the track's not perfect yet. It's still got there's still a bit of slowness to it. I won't say it's soft, but there's something slow about the track. You hop on the track here in Rock Hill and it just feels like it feels like you're on asphalt because the soil attack or the slurry is so hard.
Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to a rider, a coach, her dad today, and I was telling him about the track surfaces we have in Canada, like Abbotsford. It's like the crushed limestone or whatever. We'd come to Rock Hill or somewhere. It just feels like we're on the fastest track on the planet.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, like noticeably different.
Yeah, like it makes me. I make fun of other sports sometimes when you see the little differences they say they notice, but like that's a difference that we notice. We're riding on that dirt track versus this. You notice the difference immensely.
Yeah, that's funny. I had another dad tell me today. He's like, James Palmer's videos, it always looks like it's raining. And I'm like, yeah, no, it rains all the time.
I mean, no, it probably is raining. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. I'm sure it's just raining. Yeah, it rains all the time. We finally got a hot day in San Diego, so pray for us. We're surviving down here.
It's about time you guys do. I mean, you guys have been taking the rain from us the past little while. It's nuts.
Yeah. So we're finally got some good weather. How's the Rock Hill track? What are your impressions of it?
They haven't changed it one bit since last year. So I'm going to reiterate for the yearly listeners, the people that are, our stock every day before races listeners, you might hear the same thing. But for people that are new, here's what it is. It's a great racetrack with some very quirky things that are just like any track, kind of ridiculous. But at the same time, it's great for racing. The quirky things, let's talk about. The hill, still too short. I've been protesting this since 2016, I think, 2014, 15, whenever they came out, that the hill is too short. It still is. I pedaled to the bottom accidentally a couple times. It is what it is.
Yeah.
The first straight, they got the tabletop first jump. Not our specialty, not our favorite. Let's
just time out right there.
Yeah.
It is just an insult to BMX Supercross. I'm just going to come out and say it's just there's nothing more disgusting than watching people manual through grass on the first jump. It's pretty brutal. I got to say, it doesn't look good.
It's honestly a little frustrating having to try to tap manual the first jump to be fast.
It is. And especially like the jump isn't even meant to do that because there's grass. So people are just makeshifting it, which I don't blame riders for doing it. Like you got to do what's fastest for sure. But it's just like, you just can't have it. You really can't.
It's not even like, if it was like a tricky double that people were tapping and it was like, damn, like that's actually impressive. They can get a tap down that quick. It'd be like, oh, cool. But it's literally an uphill tabletop. Yeah. It's just and it's not even like a steep lip. Obviously you're going fast. So yeah, you kind of catch a little air. It's kind of like a kick up in the air, then tap down, but it's not even like I wouldn't even call it super impressive. It's just annoying.
Yeah. It doesn't look cool or impressive either.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird. Not our favorite. The second jump, the weird speed bump double thing that's just in the ground that you can barely even tell is there, that you can pedal straight over, still there.
Yeah, it's also not great.
Not great. And then I'd say the last quirky thing is just that sealant they put on the turns that we talked about last year that caused chaos last year. Still the same to this day. So
wow, the turns are still slick.
Yeah, we haven't ridden them in the complete wet yet, but you can still see it. It's like, obviously I think it's going to be a little better. It's weathered, it's ridden in a little more. I want to say there's going to be a little more tackiness to it, but it's still shiny surface. That coating that's on it is like a paint it's going to be washout city if you floorned on the inside, carbon too hard.
I totally forgot about that, but now it's all coming back to me. Last year was a bit of an ice rink in the corners.
Oh yeah, big time, right? Yeah.
Wow, that's not what you need because these ones are really good.
No, and we talked about I think we mentioned a bunch last year where this track was the track that's built for any weather condition. You ride 100%. It is money, and unfortunately, just because of these turns now in the sealant, it's very much, yes, you can ride it in the weather and it's fine, but a racing is a whole different story. Like it kind of ruins that part. You have to tiptoe through those turns completely.
I think one of the most iconic Supercross World Cups of all time was the first year in Rock Hill in the pouring rain at night.
Dude, that was an iconic one, was it not?
That main, I got to say, that was one of the coolest mains of all time, no question.
It was mega, I think. Yeah, the amount of drama that was happening, action that was going down everywhere.
Yeah, Rock Hill has turned into an absolute staple. It's like Papendal-like in terms of its, I don't know, I don't know the right word, but in terms of just being a staple on circuit and always having a good race, I feel like you can count on it. I think the second straight is good. It's obviously a bit different than a couple years ago, but it's good. And I think the third straight it's more tech now, would you say, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think before with a bunch of kind of rollers there, I think there were a couple different lines people would do, which was cool. Definitely takes a little more precision now. The little first roller drop down can be tricky because it's pretty much one line where you jump in, you pump, jump the step up, and then you can either manual or double manual. Mm-hmm. There is an option if you really wanted to, where you can jump in, jump across, kind of jump down into the double and manual out. Not really a race line. I think last year I tried it and it was like, well, this seems silly. This is not going to be a high speed race line for some reason. Yeah. It looks like it should be, honestly. It looks like it really could be. Just wasn't that fast. From what I can remember. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe Isaac or Cam just pulls it out of their ass this weekend and makes it look fucking really fast. Who knows? But I would doubt that. So
we have a lot of James Mustache comments going on in the chat right now that we need to acknowledge. Saw your sides, Palm Dog rocking the Cam Wood stash. Chris Wilkinson, is Palm Dog auditioning for the new Miami Vice movie or something? Miss A, it was the first thing I noticed. There's been a lot of mustache comments going on.
I can see that now. I'm looking at it. I'll be honest. I was trying to do the handlebars, the handlebar look, mustache handlebars. I was trying to do it. I shaved it before I did the mustache and I was completely crooked and I had to shave the handlebars off. So I was like, this just isn't working. So now I'm trying to grow in the handlebars again. So I left the stash. So I don't know. You guys might have to, I don't know what I'm going to do here. So
you had a really good one at the Grants.
That was hefty, wasn't it?
That was thick with 2 C's.
Yeah. We're working on it.
All right. So getting to the classes, elite men. I think Corbin has been the most successful rider at Rock Hill over the years. If you look at what he's done, not only did he win the world champs there, but he's won World Cups there. And he's just been always super fast there. I don't know why. Sometimes people just like the track or the track suits them for whatever reason. They have good juju going in there. But it's a thing. Like you see in pro class, if someone does well year after year, they usually go in. Wow, this is like word jumble. They typically do well at races for some random reason. I don't know why. Like certain tracks, people just, I can't even talk right now. I don't know what's going on. First off,
way to get through that. That was a tough one.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, you take it over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I know people gel with it. There's something about it. You see guys on tour with other sports. Like we talk about golf all the time. There's guys that click at certain courses where it's like a golf shot is one golf shot to the next. You do it by the number. You think anyone should be able to perform, but guys do better at certain courses. It's the same thing with the track. Corbin has seemed to do well at certain tracks. Dutchies do well at Papendal. Yes, it's home track. They get more time, but they gel well there. Corbin seems to gel well here. Yeah, I honestly don't really know why either, because I think of him as a guy who can excel on technical tracks, where this is very much not technical, but I guess maybe he's just so smooth that he just makes it really efficient for him. I don't know.
Yeah, he just always seems to do really well there, regardless if it's UCI, USA BMX, whatever. So he could be getting his first win of the year this weekend.
I don't feel like it would be an underdog win in the sense that obviously Corbin is Corbin. He was in the mains in Florida, but I just feel like he hasn't won one in a bit. And for his level, you think every now and again he should win one. So I could call it, I'm not going to say underdog, but someone to watch out for. He could win one.
Yeah, I think Corbin could definitely get his first win of the year this weekend. And obviously, if you've won at a track in the past, you go in there knowing you can win there, and you've proven it to yourself too. So,
yeah. Who knows if he brings the family too? That's a whole another ball game. If he's got kids, the fam there, he's got the kids there. Like, watch out.
Veteran Corbin,
Dad Corby, Dad Strength Corby. Like, watch out. Like, yeah.
Cam also. Cam's rode there quite a bit this year. And Cam Wood, by the way, I'm talking about. He went there instead of going to Oldsmar early. He went to Rock Hill early, so he spent a lot of time on the track. I think he was there early this time around also. So, I think he's probably the favorite going in to win, I would say.
Kind of got to be, right? He was here early. The US team has been here for, a good week before we got here. So they've been getting some extra laps in, and something about it, the way he posted a few videos where he looked sharp, that's for sure. He had some good action going on, and I think he's a right, if I'm not mistaken. Does he start with the right foot? Yeah, so he's going to be good on the hill. That helps him. Yeah, I got to think he's up there for him. I think you look at the Cam Isaac battle. Like, do I think Cam probably has the edge because he's been here more? Yes, but it's definitely going to be like, I mean, people are going to want to watch that battle. That's for sure.
And I mean, Isaac's good on any track, I think, but I think a track like this probably suits him well. It's like pretty wide open, big, and he's really good at making passes, and he's really smart in racing. And I think that suits his style really well. Do
you think when we talk about Cam having a good, like, snappy to the kink, like he's been flawless in some of the main events of the kink, where that's where he almost seems to gain his ground, which is actually really odd. This being a shorter kink, do you think he actually loses some of that edge?
Yeah, I think it does. Like, it's so marginal, but yeah, for sure.
So we're talking half a handlebar here, but that's pro racing.
This gate to kink is quite a bit shorter than most supercross, and it definitely does make a difference. If you're not quite as good out of the gate, you can kind of compensate a little bit more on a track like this, just because you're sprinting down the steep part of the ramp much earlier, so you don't get quite as exposed in like your 3 to 4 pedal range than you would on like a Oldsmar or a Tulsa or something. So I think, yeah, it's a minimal difference, but it's notable for sure.
Yeah, that's the kind I was thinking. Like, that's his action zone. He's a guy that gets it going to the kink, but it's like, it's only 2 pedals basically to the kink. That's what it feels like. So everyone's going to be dropping down a little quicker.
I think this hill evens out a bit more too, because with it being 7.5 meters instead of 8, again, it's short. It's a small difference, but it's a slightly smaller hill, which makes the difference a little bit less between the guys. And I think it tends to make it a bit tighter to the first jump.
Definitely. We need to have a debate. When Ryan comes on too, we'll get his opinion. He's in the room, but we're going to have him on in a bit so he can hear what I'm about to say. But the debate is, I think this hill is way more significant for the guys that go, let's say, right, left. So they do the opposite gate to ride. It makes a big negative difference than it does for the other riders that go right on a regular hill.
It's the same thing. It's just half a crank either way. Because usually the people who start one and then jump the other way get an extra half crank. Now they get 1 half crank less. So my thing is, because we're getting less cranks, it's a bigger difference. Like, the margin, that extra crank is worth more because it's a smaller amount. Oh, because the hill's smaller, you mean?
Yeah. Well, because like normally it's like, okay, it's 8 pedals versus 7.5. Well, now it's 7.5 versus 7. And yes, it's half one way, half the other, but the upper is 7.5 now. So it's just like the margins.
You mean it's 8.5? It's 8 and 7.5 instead of 8.5 and 8. Is
that what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So what is normal hill for the oppos?
Normal hill, like if you go left or whatever, you get 4 full revs. So you get 4.5 revs. You get 4.5 revolutions.
Okay.
You would.
So I get 4.5.
Now you get 3.5 on the rock hill.
Okay. So let's talk about a half crank being 1. So in a regular one, I would get 8.5.
Yeah.
And Ryan would get 8.
Yes.
So whatever, take 8 out of 8.5, whatever that percentage is, it's a higher percentage than 7.5 out of 8.
Yeah. Yeah. Logically. Yeah. It probably does make a bigger difference on a smaller hill. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking, because it feels like when you watch regular size hill, the guys that lose that half crank, you don't even notice. The guys that do it here.
I really don't think it makes any difference, honestly.
No, but here I think you notice it.
I think it probably would make a bigger difference on a smaller hill. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. And you can get 2 pedals at the bottom. I mean, like Houston, you can too, but so it's a bit different than other supercross tracks too.
Yeah. Good thought. Anyways. Yeah.
On the flat part, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is, good. It's nice. I don't mind that. I think we talked about it before. I don't mind it. It's kind of, this one's huge. I mean, it's pretty almost easy 2 pedals, I'd say.
Yeah. It's like weird it probably feels like a long time if you're not pedaling twice.
Yeah.
It's too bad Alfredo's not racing this weekend. Talk about a rock hill assassin. I mean, we had him on the show and he's still getting his shoulder healed and everything. So if you're listening, Alfie, I would call you to be one of the guys this weekend. But
Corey's not forgetting you this time. Don't even worry about it.
Not forgetting you, Alfie.
No.
He's a rock hill assassin. So it's too bad he's not riding, actually, because he was always fast as fuck at this race.
He was, and he had the gate wired too. He had the gate, the hill, everything. I'm pretty sure he tried different gears, obviously, whatever, to make it work absolutely perfectly. And from what I remember, he had the place, I mean, wired. He was killing it around it. So
yeah, he really was.
good. That was good. I just want to say for the audio listeners, they didn't see what just happened, but you scurried there to close
Yeah,
with
that was
blind. Good timing.
Yeah, we can't have the glare on my face. Jay Smooth. So Jeremy Smith coming off a podium in Oldsmar. He's also had good success in Rock Hill. I feel like he's always been fast there. I remember racing him in the past and he was really quick there. This track really suits him well. So I look for Jay Smooth to be in the mains with shots at podiums.
Hey, we talk about momentum in sports. He's got some momentum coming off Florida. Right? Yeah. So I think he'll be a threat. He normally is the USA BMX round. So count him in there. Count him in.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like this hill suits him.
Does he go right?
Yeah, he goes right.
Oh, so maybe I think it does too. I didn't even think about that part.
And I just got a feeling we're on the East Coast. Well, you guys are on the East Coast. He just came off a podium. Yeah.
He's had a bunch of Canadian guys staying at the Acre brand. So like, I mean, I don't know if he's, that's, from us talking about it, whatever, but he's got the works going there. He's probably feeling himself. He's happy. Things are probably good. Life's good right now. He's like, all right, Rock Hill, time to do some more work.
Yeah, he needs to get a win.
I think so. Do you think it's about time?
Yeah, it's about time.
Do you toss him a win here?
I think it'd be tough to do in Rock Hill because I think Corbin and Cam are really tough to beat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
I mean, it's certainly possible, but I just think it'd be really difficult to beat them.
Did Isaac get a win here last year?
I don't think so. No,
he didn't. McLean got a win.
Wasn't Isaac's first win in Tulsa, like on the UCI day?
Oh yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think so. Ryan said he maybe won on Sunday. Is that what he said? Yeah, and then I think did Joris win one of the days? The other days, no. Neek won a day and Josh won a day.
I honestly can't even remember who won.
I can tell you right now. Neek won a day. He won the first day in the rain, and then the second day was windy. He coasted in the semi with me. That's why I remember. And then I think Josh won. I think
another guy with some momentum was Carlos, a little magician. Didn't start off in Houston, kind of racing back into shape. Got on the box in Oldsmar. Has raced Rock Hill many years now. I mean, dude's just a threat to get third any race, and especially one like this.
I mean, did you see the two? I saw two photos from a race in Buenos Aires. Both days he was on the podium.
Easy.
Are you even surprised? No, you're not, because that's just standard issue for him.
Okay, is he coming to Rock Hill? I was assuming he was.
I would assume so, just because of the new team, him being in Florida, him being in Houston. Exactly. So I'm just going to take a stab at saying yes as well, but I can't tell you for a fact. I don't know.
He moved to the land of opportunity. It's not that far from Orlando to go to Rock Hill.
I think he's a U.S. guy now. I think he's on the tour.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's Florida based now. So
true.
Couple guys that'll be interesting. U.S. guys, Larson and Shibby.
Yep. I think those are two guys to watch out for this weekend. I think I mentioned they.
You know what? I'm sorry to interrupt. I was going to say Shibby's been like kind of low key, really consistent and good the last few months.
Yeah.
He's rode really well.
Yeah, I think him and Cam have been working together a lot, like side by side, we're working together, training partners. I don't know if they're both working with Ariel. Either way, they've been working together clearly. And I think I got to say, I think for Shibby, having someone hold him accountable is huge, because when he does put in the work, the dude flies. Like, he rips. Like, you saw Grands a few years ago. I think we talked to him. He's put in a little extra work for the Grands that year, and he was flying. He did really well. And the times he's done that, he's been fast. And I think it seems like he's been doing that, being in Florida, being with Cam. Like I was going to say, like, they've been here for a week or more already, getting some time in, like with the U.S. camp. So, I mean, I would think all they've been doing is riding and training. So,
what's kind of interesting about Shibby is, like, I don't think he has quite the speed or power that a lot of the top guys have, but he just positions himself really well, and he does everything pretty well. And he finds a way to get through the rounds. Like, he doesn't make many mistakes in the track. He makes really smart moves. He stays smooth. Like, he's probably not the flashiest guy in terms of like that elite level compared to Cam and those guys, but he always does a good job of just racing smart, and he can make a lot of mains that way.
That's a really good point. Like his mistake minimization is huge. Out of the start, down the first straight, in the first turn, he always keeps his speed up, and he's always in a position. It seems like you're right. Yeah.
Like he does a good job of kind of maximizing all his tools always, and he can get good results that way.
You know, whenever I kind of think of like, you know, those US guys who just always seem to be in the mix, it's because of that. Because of someone like, which Anthony's doing is, yeah, they're always in the mix. They're not making huge mistakes. They're there every time, and eventually a window, or you're going to make a window open up for you eventually doing that.
Yeah. And you know, that's like a lot of the time, you don't really need to do a whole lot of special stuff to get into main. And granted, like, of course you have to be fast, but often, like if you just maximize your start, ride smooth, ride fairly mistake-free, make good decisions, like you can generally get a lot of thirds and fourths and make mains.
Yeah. Stars are usually aligned when that happens. Like, yes, you need, I'm not even going to say luck, but you need things to happen in your way. But the people that seem to do those things right have those things happen. It just is one of those things, right?
It's probably about time we mentioned the defending champ also.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up Larson again too, just to say that one of those guys where I think he's got a little something extra on this hill. He's had some success in the past, I think, where if he's put it together, I think he'll be someone to watch out for. Like we said it before, it's about time that he almost like, you know, steps up a little more because he's been there. This is a place I think he could do it.
He reminds me of just like a supercharged elastic band. just like a little band pulling back and just like ready to fucking twitch and rip.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. That's, I mean, he's like Mr. Fast Twitch. Like when he leans back in the gate so far, he's like a fucking elastic band ripping. And when it goes, he fucking floors it.
Yeah, like he's just gonna go a million miles an hour instantly.
What's crazy is when he's in Oldsmar, that gate is one of the new Pro Gate Rams, which is extremely quick. And he looks like he leans back a lot. Rock Hill, they haven't upgraded their gate. They're still on the old 20 whatever year gate. That's way too old. And it's a little bit slower because of it. It's old, it's worn down. They need to upgrade. They need to hit up Pro Gate Europe. It is what it is. The gate's a little bit slow. And I won't say slow, I'll just say slower, I guess. But that's going to be tough for someone like Cam, who that his specialty is just ripping it, I feel like.
Yeah.
So
defending champ, Joris Daudet. It's been in France. I'm assuming he's coming over from Rock Hill.
Believe so. From what I've heard, yep. I think he should be here. Haven't touched base since for a few days, but it seems like he's flying a little under the radar right now, doesn't it?
I feel like he's just pretty low key the last like year or so.
Yeah, he's doing his thing with his family. He's moving back and forth, which has got to be tough. He's not being flashy with the posts. He shows up, gets his work in, and tries to get a win. Like that's what he's been doing.
And honestly, probably at that age too, like he's going to be 32 this year. That's fairly old in the sport. And like in terms of longevity, I'm sure you need to do that at that point. Like
a little bit, right?
Yeah, like you got to really be careful of your energy and protect your energy. And I think he does it. He's honestly created a master course on how to maximize your career longevity.
Kind of, yeah. If you want to see somebody that's done it and wants to do it for a long time, like he's the guy. Absolutely. So I will say, so watch out for him. I don't know. He's always got something, you know, he's won it here in the past where he came out of the middle lane and just popped one off, I remember. So keep an eye out.
He's won here a lot. So yeah.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, if that gate's a little bit slower, but also still fast enough, I think he's a guy that can just rip one sometimes on it.
Rico Bierman. I think he's going to be quick this weekend. He obviously raced in Houston, but he came straight from vacation to Houston. So he wasn't at his best and he was still quick. I feel like he's going to be firing on all cylinders here.
I mean, he just came off a national champ win in New Zealand. So congrats on that. I think he flew home flew there for the race and basically is just back to the US here and ready for Rock Hill. So he has a lot of flying under his belt the past little while, I think, but I can only imagine like going home to win a race like that and then come back with the sleeve has got to make you a little more juice to get in the gate with it and show it off. So I'd expect better things from the first two.
I feel like New Zealand is just a very quiet BMX nation these days. Very quiet.
It's kind of tough for them, in my opinion, the way their whole system, how whole program has gone kind of tits up the past, like after 2016, like they haven't really had a program. The guys are kind of doing it on their own. It seems like Matt Cameron is kind of running a team there, which is awesome now for some of the younger guys, but it's not international yet. Like they're not supporting them internationally for the most part. So it's like you got guys like Bias, who's over in France doing his thing, who's done it all on his own to do that. Like he's found a source, let's say, to help him chase his goals and his dreams. And then you got Rico that's been basically coming over to the US and finding ways to do it with the US guys, with Derek and whatnot. So it's like kind of weird, hey? Kind of weird how the system works.
Yeah, because especially they've had some absolute weapons from that country too. They have had some just like we're talking elite speed guys.
Every kind of age group range. I mean, they've had some guys that are just incredible. Like you look at Willers, like when Willers and Picard were just
so fucking good,
so fucking fast. And it's like they always got a couple. And like right now, the now is like you got Rico and you got Bias.
Yeah, and then you also always had Trent Jones in the middle too, who was world class. Like they've always had a guy, and like Rico's now that top guy, that can do well like anywhere in the world.
Yeah,
but they've never not had a guy that can make mains in the U.S., World Cups, whatever.
It's pretty wild for what seems like a small country. Well, it is a small country, but small BMX country as well. The fact that they can still produce something like that, like they clearly. I don't know what to say, but they can always find a way to get a guy up there.
Yeah, and the guys usually have to do it on their own by the looks of it too, which sucks for them. But
it makes them stronger, in my opinion.
I was going to say it definitely.
Yeah, more resilient to deal with the pressures and whatnot. Should we now get to our guest here that we need to talk about, and should we just bring him on now too?
Sure, Ryan Tougas. We got
Ryan Tougas. Ryan, you ready to come on, buddy? He's in the room. I just got to call him over, basically.
We got the phenom. Canadian sex symbol Ryan Tougas.
Hop on, buddy. Hop on YouTube.
What's up, boys?
So I wasn't sure if you guys were gonna do you guys were obviously rooming together. I wasn't sure if you're gonna do the classic you're each gonna be on your own laptop on Zoom, or you're gonna do the classic side by side.
I was joking. I said just put the laptop on the chair. We could just both lie in bed. But
yeah. I figure we could get that, but it would have been a bad look for the YouTube if we did that.
Yeah, we look like a bunch of losers.
Ryan making the 23 debut this weekend.
The 23. No, I was in.
He was in Oldmar.
You might not have noticed, but I was in Oldmar.
Yeah. What am I saying?
Yeah, jeez.
You want to know what's tough too? Okay, so we talked about you got a lot in the tank to show, but the people didn't see the third round I saw on the iPad from in Oldsmar. Dude, Saturday the kid ripped one off from lane 8 in Oldsmar from the outside. People need to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. And you should have made the main both days. Oh, you had a good shot at making the main both days.
Yeah. I felt pretty good. I felt like Alex on that one because Alex, for those who don't know, that's the one deuce speed track. Alex would just rip him from the outside there. I texted him after the third round. I was like, dude, I actually felt like you for a second. But yeah, it was good.
So dude, you kind of had a weird go because COVID hit, obviously. Then you're a junior, so you didn't really get a crack at it. So last year was your first year of racing elite. So looking back on it now, what'd you think of it? What do you take from it?
I mean, last year was really good. It started off really well, and then obviously I had the big crash in June, which put me out for 3 months. And then I was just really excited to race Bogota last year because that was my first ever World Cup, really.
I was going to say, fill people in on your injury for those people that don't know what happened.
I had a liver contusion and I basically tore my groin when I crashed in Campen. And then for 5 weeks, tried to work through it and ride, and then got an MRI, and then they were like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing anything. So then just worked with Tori's old guy, did some physio, and then just got prepped, went back racing.
Yeah.
Finished the season off with an absolute great weekend in Bakersfield, so it doesn't get much better than Bakersfield. So yeah.
I don't think did you post the crash? I think you might have. If you haven't seen, go watch the video of Ryan's crash in one of his videos edits.
I think I saw it was fucking gnarly on the third straight.
James was on the hill for it too, because it was the final and you were right after. That was in Campen.
I think it was the second day. I crashed out.
You just crashed, yeah.
I crashed over summer. I was watching, but that kid, I think he moved the roller a few feet too. So it was absolutely incredible.
Just brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of racing elite compared to junior and amateur and everything?
I like that there's, for the most part, there's a class respect in a sense. You don't see too much dumb shit happening in motos, especially. That I think in junior and U23, you see a lot, first round, chalking you up for third and last turn, you blow a foot, get sixth. You're like, what are we doing? It's And I think you do see that a lot, but in elite, I think it's good. Like every race is super competitive, which is really nice. I think like it's just like you start the day and you got to be on it all day. I really like that about it. And it's just like, I think like, and like the more you race in it, like the more you get out of it, which is really nice. Cause you sometimes like when you're younger, you go to races and you don't really have like that much, not like saying like competition, but just like that many riders there. But like, I feel like our pro class, we always get like, we were borderline almost had 8s in Oldsmar, I think. Yeah. We're like 60. So
when you guys are racing amateur, it always feels like it comes down to 3 or 4 of you, maybe in 1 or 2 of you.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I always remember watching you guys. And now it feels like, yeah, there's always the guys in the main, there's probably like 5 or 6 of them. There's always a couple, maybe you're like, okay, you have your eyes on them, but you're right. Like motos, you have 3 or 4 guys that could win the moto.
Yeah. And like up until last year, like last year's my first like year back from like junior and like COVID, the whole thing. And like before that, it was just amateur racing. I get like 15 riders a weekend. So it'd be like not that big. So it's just been really fun.
I think one of the biggest differences too to get used to is like when you race elite, you go from racing amateur to junior, where of course you have to focus in motos, but there's more room for error and you don't necessarily have to treat first round like a main. But in elite, like you have to treat every round like a main. And if you don't, you could easily get a 6th or 7th.
Yeah, exactly. Because like you throw a 7 up on the board early, you're like, oh no, like I gotta go 1 and 3 or because it happens though. Sometimes you throw one up early, you're like, well, I gotta reset and get going again. So
do you find the race days are more taxing mentally and physically?
Sounds really weird, but kind of the opposite. Because I've had starts where like I've had a bad start and I've started the day off with like a 6th or a 5th or like something like that. But like I don't know, I've gotten better at it. It's just like whatever, it kind of happens. Like, yeah, it's taxing, but I just like know at any point like we can like things can change and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think I just put less expectation on myself now that I'm racing pro.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the feeling of like when I was younger, I'd put like, oh, I have to win stuff like that. Now it's like just get top 4, see what we can do. So
it's funny. I don't know. Most days in elite, you get a full mixed bag. Like you're not gonna win every lap, and it's like,
dude, no. Yeah, like I remember one of my rounds. I think it was like Bakersfield last year. We had like the main on Friday, and then I checked my first moto Saturday, and it was 6 out of the 6 guys. And I was like, no, like it's a repost. I was like, you kidding me? But yeah, no, just kind of just go with it, I guess. That's the best way.
Yeah, you really get used to treating one lap at a time because like you can't let one bad lap affect because really they happen all the time in elite. You can get cut off or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, because like before like my first like year last year, I remember like when I asked you guys like what to expect, and that was like asked Alex, asked both you guys, it was the same thing, just one lap at a time. That's you really can't don't overlook things and stuff like that. So
You know, I think we got to talk about the quarterfinal. I think we maybe talked about it on here one time, the quarterfinal from last year where Ryan was 7, whole shot at Joris, and was Sylvan or Romain?
I don't think it was Romain. I think it was Sylvan.
I thought it was a semi. Was it a semi or no?
No, it was a quarter.
Okay.
Yeah. Whole shot him though from the outside, super windy. Goes down the 3rd straight. Has like a moment.
Pulls the chute.
Oh, dude, it was so bad. I crossed the finish and I was like, oh God, I know I'm just gonna hear that for the rest of my life.
I'm on your side because I mean, we watched the video a bunch of times. You were still plenty ahead. You got hit with the wind. It is what it is. The guys behind, I remember even Joris. Me and Joris joke about this still. Joris was giving him shit. I was like, "You're giving my boy shit, Joris. Come on now." Like that was windy as fuck. So
it was so funny because like right after, like it was before the semi went up, and you guys know, like I like not like I can take it. I'm serious, but I can also like. I fuck around. Yeah. So I went up to like they're standing there and they were talking. I just walked over. I walked over to both and was like, hey, that was on me. and I walked right away. And they both just like looked and they just started laughing. I was like, hey guys, it's on me. Don't worry.
Sorry, boys.
Yeah.
It was funny. Robert always used to tell me or get mad at me when I started getting pissed off at people like behind when I was behind somebody. He's like, you know what? Should have just been ahead of them.
That is the fucking worst advice to tell someone or whatever. It's like, well, no shit, dude.
That's what are you guys fucking trying to do, jackass? All right, come on.
Right. One of the cool things about racing elite, one thing many people experience, and I had the same, is like you go from watching guys all the time and watching them like throughout your teenage years or whatever to racing them. Like, has it been special to race guys like Corbin or Joris that you've watched for a long time?
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, it's cool, but then you also don't want to like treat them like, not in a sense of like treat them like they're superstars, but you get kind of a little bit starstruck in a sense. Obviously it's like annoying like racing Joris and like those guys because it's like, oh, 1-2, see you later, and he's usually gone, especially Joris. But like, I don't know, I still think it was crazy racing you guys for the most part the first time, because like as far as like looking up to pros, like I wasn't really in touch with like the other guys because I just had around you guys all the time. Racing, like James' first time was terrifying because it's like I've seen him and Alex battle my whole life, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get parked. So like I didn't have to race you, thank God. But yeah, I'd say honestly it was scarier racing Alex and James for the first time than probably those guys.
Like racing your older brothers.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's scary racing Alex, to be honest with you. Because sometimes he's like, maybe you don't really see him 30 foot, and then like he shifts and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. So it's funny, racing your brother. What's that like? Like, especially because that one year you guys raced national champs, and it's kind of like,
yeah,
like how are you guys? What's the dynamic like? Like, I don't know, day of the race and everything with you guys.
Well, yeah, Alex and I are the best. Like he kind of pitted. I don't know. I think we were in the same Team BC pits, but I mean, we just kind of chalked up. I remember joking. He was like, before the race, I think you were there. He's like, what lane you pick? And I go, I'm not telling you. I'm not. And then
don't wait and find out, dude.
Exactly. And then, yeah. I mean, we've had a few like pro-ams for like money, and then we look at each other like, hey, we go 1-2, we split the pot, right? And he goes, yeah, we'll go split the pot. We'll do stuff like that for fun, but no, it's good. Alex is the best.
Yeah. So you guys, it's not like you're both like not talking and just want to kill each other.
No, not at all. I remember it was national champs, and they didn't have like they didn't print out like the correct order for picks or something like that. So there was a little bit of weight on the hill. And I remember looking like we were on like opposite sides of the hill. And I remember looking at him like, dude, what the fuck are we doing, right? and he took his goggles off and he was like, he throws his hands. It was so funny. But yeah, it was awesome.
Man, that's super cool. You get to race your brother in pro. It's like something hardly anyone ever gets to experience.
Yeah, it's pretty rare. Like we were talking about it is pretty rare. So, yeah.
I think I was going to say, Tori, I think we've only had like a couple races. I think we really ever really raced each other. I don't think we've had that many laps where we really raced each other. I'll be honest. The one lap we had last year that I was supposed to do my thing in the corner.
Yeah,
I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep up.
Yeah, I had like third pick for that too. And then I picked lane 7. I told James, I was like, hey, maybe go 8. You never know what we can do here. and then, yeah, I had my guy, I think, on that one.
Yeah, that was the one he hole shot the quarter, and I was supposed to keep up to him down the first straight and cut over with him. The dude shifted on me. I was nowhere to be seen.
Transmission was jammed trying to get through the gearbox.
Oh, it's hilarious.
James, I feel like we lost like a few years. I feel like we raced each other a lot in Canada those years.
Yeah, I used to love watching that. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
I always hoped that you guys like hit and then Alex won. So I was really, to be honest, because you guys, it was just you 3 to Canada Cup, and it would be you 3 guys like a straight ahead, just going balls to the wall.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a C1 on Saturday, so Tori never raced the Sunday.
Yeah,
we take Sundays off leading into World Cup.
Tori would never leave the van on Sunday too. He would have the team's candy supply, but he'd put it in the front seat, and he would just pick it apart. It's true though, because that's what he would do.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah. And they would try to tell him anything, and he'd be like, "Dude, Pan Am gold, 2 Olympics. What are you gonna like?"
Come on, dude.
Right, U23 this year. You raced at U23 last year at the World Cups. You mentioned. What do you think of U23? What do you think of U23 World Cups?
I mean, they're really good. The class is fast. Like, Adam was breaking down last year. Like Leo Garian had like one of his laps was like the fastest. Like he would have been like in the elite with one of his lap times, something like that. So like,
he beat the world champ last weekend.
I mean, yeah, and the class is so good. You have guys like last year, Tatiana, you had the Molina from Chile, Asuma, Rico. I mean, yeah, Rico. Yeah, Rico's that guy too. That's my boy. So, yeah, what a good guy. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really good. I think it's really good to get more people into the World Cups as well. So I think it's a good class.
Yeah, because obviously it's everyone knows it's really hard to go from junior to elite. So it helps bridge the gap, and it probably retains some more people in the sport instead of just going to elite, getting their doors blown off, and then stopping.
Yeah, because I feel like you've seen that a bunch, especially for guys from North America. Because, well, let's face it, most of like if you're in Europe, I believe probably going to World Cups is a little bit easier in certain sense. But yeah, I think it makes it easier for people making the jump. Yeah. Big time.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's funny. So when you have to race South Americans too, do you already know that they're gonna be a little wild too?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to put that as like a staple, but I mean, you guys have spoke on it probably.
Yeah, when we were talking about, I was thinking about Alfie last weekend. I think it was he mentioned like, yeah, when I got to race in South America, dude, like, man.
Well, it's probably hard for those guys too when they go.
Alfredo says that.
Yeah, and when they're like a staple here, and they go back, and people are just trying to want to get, they have their number, and they just want to.
I feel like Alfredo though, he doesn't ride like this, like the typical South American probably.
No,
like he's
not even
like
not at all.
Rides more like Americanized for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Who are one of the tougher guys in the U.S. do you guys think to race against?
In the U.S.?
Yeah.
For what reason? Like just.
Well, just I don't know the normals that are on the U.S. circuit, like to race against, because like I would say like.
I think Jay Smooth.
Yeah, Jay Smooth. He was slicing and dicing Oldsmar. Yeah.
Yeah, Oldsmar. He was just like it was like second turn. Like I think he went fourth to second on one of the turns. Just like no contact, but he just diced his up.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's so smooth.
Connor was always really tough to race because obviously he's a good starter and really good first straights, but he's also good in corners and like really crafty. So he was always tough.
Yeah, especially here. Connor was nasty here. You guys went 2-3 at the World Cup here, didn't you?
I mean, where wasn't Connor nasty?
Yeah, true. He's so great. He was so gross.
Yeah, I mean, where wasn't he?
Shout out to the funnel.
Yeah, Connor's the man.
So, what'd you learn from last year that you maybe worked on for this year, if anything, Ryan?
Probably I think a lot of like body position stuff and like just like body position, whether it's on the gate and on the track, like just being in a more set position all the time. Because there's a few like I just like develop bad habits sometimes, just staying too upright and just too floaty, a lot of backseat stuff. And then just gate wise, just trying to get quicker because that was something I struggled with like most of last year is like like even in Bogota and before Bogota, just like getting a good snap and stuff like that. Like getting just better timing and overall.
Yeah, because your hill speed was always, I feel like, exceptional. You're just trying to catch up on the snap a little bit.
Yeah, I feel confident on the hill. It's just getting to the kink in a good position. I think you guys can speak on that. Yeah, you get it.
It's interesting you mentioned body position. Yeah, because I think especially coming from like when you race normal tracks your whole life, like everyone does, and you go ride Supercross, it's an adjustment for sure.
Yeah, like coming off of like amateur, like honestly, like body position till the last few years, like it's getting better, but it was horrible. Like I would go to jump and just gain nothing from it. Like I would just be backseat, just straight arms. Like just been tap manualing my whole life. Really,
that's kind of the style of the tracks too. Like ABA tracks, you do just lean back, you tap a jump, and you lean back on the backside. That's all you need to do because there was nothing super steep or technical. You never had to jump.
Yeah, so. And we're pretty lucky because Abbotsford's a great track to train on at home.
Yeah,
because it's pretty technical. It's as far as like second straight wise, big jumps. So
it's also like human nature too, because typically when we all start riding Supercross, we're all a bit scared because Supercross is gnarly. So it's normal.
Just chilling.
And typically too, like when we're scared in BMX, like we have a tendency to want to stiffen up and lean back for safety when as we all know, we have to stay central and forward to be aggressive and jump efficiently. So it takes time to like build the confidence and like to tell yourself like, okay, I have to force myself here to stay central and forward to jump things well. And that takes a bit of time to build that on Supercross.
Yeah, like I remember, Glasgow third straight last year. I think that was the big eye opener for me because I was really struggling to just get through it. And
it's a techie one.
It's very. I know
really
it is very. It's like an extreme, but
super gnarly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Speaking of getting used to Supercross, should we tell the Dylan story?
Oh, dude, Dylan. I hope he watches it so he gets a shout out. But
yeah. So one of our boys, Dylan, on the Canadian team, he's from Alberta. He hasn't been able to ride like any Supercross really. I don't know if he was in Florida.
No, he was not.
Hasn't been able to ride Supercross. Dude, he had a digger and a half the other day. Brick shithouse got up from it, walked away.
What do you do?
Oh, okay. It was a berm jump incident. I'm just going to start with that.
Oh,
That'll set the tone a little bit. We're ramping second straights. So we show up, was it Friday, Saturday? Show up Saturday. Windy as fuck. Like I'm talking, we're doing the last straight only because straight side wind. We're like, what are we doing here? We ride for probably about an hour, I would say. We find like, okay, well, at least let's go up the hill, do some gates, and then maybe we get over the first jump, gate to first jump. We finally do all that. We're like, cool, okay, we got a good gate session in, got a couple first straights. So it's kind of winds die down. Why don't we hit the second straight again? So a few of us start ramping the second straight. We do a few of those, and then the younger guys like Dylan and Thomas hop in on those as well. They come do it, and they're kind of hitting them one by one, getting themselves going because they haven't ridden big. Well, Dylan hasn't ridden big track in a while, hasn't ridden big jumps. Does the first one, I think fine, maybe tagged it. So he pulled the brakes, comes back around, gets ready to do another one. Goes a little quick in my mind, goes to do it, jumps the first one, kind of floats it, jumps the second one, kind of maybe tags a little bit. And then all of a sudden he stands up looking like he's about to pull his brakes, but his brakes don't get pulled. He's just standing there. And all of a sudden we all just suck our breaths in. He goes off the lip. He does not pop. I'm telling you, he coasts. He does not pop. And he just noses straight into the turn. Like I'm talking chalk line of the girls' chalk line.
Yeah, it was
incredible.
It was incredible. So when it happened though, like, so he landed and then he kind of stood up. So we were like, oh, okay, just thought he was pulling brakes, but he didn't. And you like in the video, you can hear like in the background, like,
what? And then dead quiet, dude.
Yeah, he impacts dead quiet, and he is a tank. Like we're talking.
Snap his forks off or anything?
No, dude, this got to be an advertisement for his bike company because he nosied the berm. I mean, fully impact, straight nose to the chest, to the bars. Nothing broke on his bike. He like flipped over the handlebars and basically walked away from it.
Oh my God.
And I think it can speak to like Alberta boys in general in every sport. Like 5 minutes later, he comes back up the turn. He starts rolling back to the first jump. We're like, oh, no. It's over. Get your Chipotle. We're calling it a night.
Okay, so why did you guys ask him why he didn't brake? Like, because obviously you have two options: you either grab a crank and send it, or you hit your brakes.
We asked him.
I think it's just brain fart.
He's basically like, when he basically said this, like, when you're sitting in class, you're kind of just daydreaming. The teacher asks you a question, and you're like, I haven't been paying attention. I have no idea what you asked. He said he had one of those. So just a straight brain fart.
Just like deer in headlights, just like did nothing happen.
Yeah, just like, fuck, all right. Yeah. Probably did the second one. It was like, shit, I kind of messed that one up and just didn't think about anything and just went off the rip. Dude, it was scary as fuck.
Oh my God.
So,
I'm so glad he's okay. Holy fuck, that could have
been bad. Too. The kid's a brick shithouse. To get up and walk away from that, holy smokes.
Wow.
So
he's okay. He did it next session.
Yeah, I was gonna say, needless to say, the next session he pulled up hard.
Oh yeah.
Can't keep a good man down.
No, you can't.
No.
Especially the West Coast boys.
Yeah. Do you wanna hit the women? You wanna just quickly talk about the women?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You good?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. No Molly. That's all I got.
All right, big prediction. A young woman by the name of Alice Willoughby is going to be pulling this weekend. So for those of you that don't know her, yeah, she's going to be pretty fast.
I think so. I mean, it's hard to ever say she's not.
Will Lauren Reynolds be back?
I think Lauren will be racing. This will be her first one of the year. T, do you know? I think you're the local to her. I don't know if you've seen her at the track lately. I thought I saw something on Instagram that said getting ready to race kind of thing.
You're right. Wow, she wasn't in Houston or Rocket or Oldsmar.
I'll go her for a second one day. I say Lex Colby gets a podium. And then
Lexi's been getting better on Supercross since the start of the year in Houston. I think she spent more time on it. She's been getting better on it for sure.
I don't know. Has Felicia been here? I have no clue.
I think she's raced Rock Hill before in the past. Yeah.
Okay. And then
the whole US team.
That picky, dude.
The whole US team's been riding. Yeah. Because
but she hasn't.
But has she been here?
She hasn't been here with the team. I'll give him that.
Yeah, fucking guy calls me up. They didn't even know I raced Oldsmar.
So yeah, they've had a camp here, like I said, a US camp, but I think the three main people that haven't been here are Corbin, Felicia, and Elise.
Actually, you're right. Come to think of it, because I've been watching Mackenzie's videos and I don't remember seeing Felicia.
Yeah, Lisa's it's something like, I mean, she's so fast and she's been so good here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of is what it is.
The Lexi, Mackenzie, Peyton, and we throw Delaney and Molly and Tegan in there. What do we call these group of girls? Because they're kind of those younger girls that are like kind of broke into the class a little while ago.
The Sicarios.
What?
The Sicarios.
Sicarios?
Pretty sure it means like killer or something, doesn't it?
Sicarios.
I thought he was meaning like Turkey, like the World Cup. You know, it's Sakara. I think it's Sakara.
Yeah,
I was so confused.
it is kind of the place of the World Cup, yeah.
It's Sicario's a hired gunman or assassin in Spanish.
Just a bunch of hitmen? Yeah, that makes sense. Good one, Tori. Good insight, Tori. That was great insight. I don't know. They're like the next group, really.
Yeah.
For the series wise.
Let me look up something really quick.
Okay, you look up something really quick. I was gonna say, I
don't think I should say that because you want to know why we shouldn't say that. It might be what Pablo Escobar called his people.
Okay, so yeah, we don't do that.
But we don't say that. My bad. We don't say that.
We take that back. We take it straight back.
Yes, we do. Sorry, we don't say that.
Tori's gonna get canceled, dude.
I hope not.
There goes half his clients. They're all gone.
Anyway, that group, obviously Molly's overseas, so she's not gonna be there clearly. But all those other, all the other ones are gonna be there, and they're like a huge part of the class now, that younger group that we always talk about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of bummer. Like Laura, I don't think it's going to be here. I think somebody mentioned to us in one of the comments, like it's kind of too bad Beth doesn't come over here and race it because those would be fun to watch. But I think because of that, like you get to see a little more of these younger superstars who maybe would get outshined a little bit because of their first straight speed, but because they can shift gears a little more with, let's say less of those top women as well. Same thing in the guys field, like having a few less, like you get to show your skills more, and these girls do, and get a little more confidence. Get in the mix a little bit, and I think that's really cool for them, but also for people watching.
I think it's almost a good thing when some top European riders don't come over, and it stays a bit separate because, for one, like it makes the class more competitive stateside for the riders here, but also it's like then you have a little bit of mystery going into World Cups when you have the top Europeans versus the top North American based people. Like the sport's gotten so global that so many people just race in the US all the time, like Sylvan or everyone just comes over, and it's just like a mini World Cup. But like not every race has to be a mini World Cup. Like you could have the two circuits and just meet at the World Cups.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
I like it better that way, I think, too, because you're right. Because the mystery is part of the fun. Like when you're going into a tournament of any sport and people haven't matched up yet, like that's what's fun. Is like, okay, let's see how they do against each other.
Yeah, and then it just makes. I mean, if every race is a World Cup, it's just hard as fuck everywhere.
Yeah, it's just brutal. Like it just sucks. So we have a nice chill weekend in Oldsmar. You got like 60 riders and like you're like, what's Diego Arboleda doing right now?
We got World Cup #1. Yeah. So, but yeah, the younger group of U.S. women, they've been riding the track the past week. Mackenzie, Lexi, Peyton's been pulling this year, so I look for good weekends out of them.
Are you still holding stock on Delaney?
Yes, holding stock. Certainly not selling stock.
Absolutely not. I'm going to do that around
here.
By
the way, happy birthday to the Desert Destroyer.
It's her birthday today, right? Or yesterday, right?
I think one of the two. Anyway, happy birthday, Delaney. Friend of the program.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Friend of the program. Hell of a program.
What were you saying, Ryan? Who do you think what?
Oh, no, I wasn't saying anything, dude. I was just listening to you guys talk.
All right, yeah, shut up.
Yeah. Hey, fun. I got a video of Tori doing that in 2017, the Hell of program.
Hell of program.
Him punching the roof in the van. What a video. I got so much stuff.
The roof of the van?
Yeah, when we had the solar eclipse and James's dumbass opened the sunroof.
Where?
In St. Albert, 2017.
Sir St. Albert, hell yeah.
Nothing beats St. Albert National Champs the next weekend. Just 2 weeks in Alberta, just nothing but flat land and just shitty hotel. Just having a blast.
God, those trips were so fun.
They were the best.
So fun.
It was so
Yeah,
funny because it'd be
nothing like going on a team trip for like 10 days and hitting 2 races.
yeah, dude. Especially our Team BC that year. Well, I was on Team BC, but you guys just joined the trip. But it was like us three, Alex, Ben Leslie, like all the boys. It was so fun.
It was a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, I do miss traveling with the boys. That was fun.
Oh, dude, so much fun times. Every time for dinner, what's for dinner? And we just all look at Tori. Tori'd be like, on his phone, be like, yeah, let's go Thai. He just walks in stable. They know him. He's like, hey, yeah, water, pad time, no peanuts. And he just sits there.
Boys feeling Italian tonight or what?
Just classic. Yeah. So much stuff. So many stories.
You were you boys staying in Rock Hill? You guys you burning down the Super 8 still, or where are you staying now?
No. Extended stay.
Oh, moving up in the world. Nice. Budget's got to be.
No, easy. I would actually take a Super 8 because I could get some free yogurt in the mornings, dude. We got no brekkie here, so.
Wait, where did we stay for the World? Is that the extended stay? Or is that different?
No, for the World, we stayed at the Wingate, I think it's called. Across the highway. Yeah.
That place wasn't that good either. Yeah.
Kind of weird. It's funny. So there's the shitty row of hotel, the shitty hotel row in Rock Hill that we've stayed at a bunch, unfortunately. There's the extended stay, which is kind of down the highway, which is around some nicer ones. And then last year we stayed at the best. It's probably the best hotel been in the state. Yeah, we stayed at some like comfort suites last year, dude. That was unbelievable. You had 2 nice size queen size beds, a nice little couch and TV area, and your little. Do you have a little kitchenette? Yeah, little kitchenette and a fridge. I think last year it was crazy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
okay. Ryan's just making pancakes and waffles in the morning.
Yeah, I just wake up naked, just in the kitchen, just flipping breakfast. Yeah. James got the blinds. I'm just.
What a sight that would be! Just wake up, Ryan's just naked in the kitchen making pancakes.
What's going on?
Oh, morning, James.
Good morning.
We got anything else on the Rock Hill basis of things?
I'll give the last shout out to I think someone we've been waiting, Tegan Pascal. She's been, chipping away. I think this year. I think we thought we were going to see a lot in Houston. I think that was a get through Houston. And I think this weekend will be that one where the stock's about to pay off.
Don't let her shift.
Yeah, she's a shifter.
Don't let her shift.
So
dude, she has been fast.
She is fast.
Yeah, I watched her race. So I watched the race when I was in Houston, but I was also in Vegas at the race. Dude, fuck, she was pulling in Vegas on that short indoor first straight. She hasn't shown like her true speed yet, but it's coming. And when it does, she's going to do well.
She looks more like, as far as last year, there's like back-to-back injuries with her shoulder. And knock on wood, everything's going well, but she just looks so much more comfortable on the bike. Like she's able to get moving now. And I don't know, I think like the track, being comfortable on the track is like matching her speed. So I think it's looking good.
Yeah, I agree. She's improved a lot. Like she looks much more powerful this year. And like I said, I think she just hasn't shown it yet, but it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
I had a random question that Ryan asked me, Tori, that I'm asking you because I answered. Would you rather have Joris's gate with Sylvan's track speed?
That's a good question.
Or was it Cam Woods' gate? Or is it
Cam
Woods' gate with Kai White's track speed?
This is a classic cool down question. Just bullshit.
I'd go Cam and Kai. You can't lose, but I'd go Cam and Kai probably. Yeah.
I took the French Connection.
Yeah, they're both. Obviously, really.
You're coming out winning either way one time.
Yeah.
So
crazy town.
Yeah.
All right, we got some quick shots, right?
Some questions from the grandstands.
Oh yeah, questions from the grandstands. Fuck me, I always forget. How does Ryan deal with Connor Laverty? How does Ryan deal with being so handsome? It's got to be a burden.
Who said that? Connor Laverty?
Yeah. How does Ryan deal with being so handsome?
Connor's a great looking guy. I went to high school with Connor. What a guy! One of the best looking gingers I've ever seen in my life. So I don't know. I'll do no comment on that. I'd ask Tori because he just kind of passed it down. So
with Ryan, with your great power comes great responsibility.
Oh God. I always tell people Tori and I's favorite thing is just looking in the mirror. Get better looking every day.
From Austin Smith, Dist 3. New Rock Hill versus old Rock Hill opinions.
I mean, probably got to be old Rock Hill. 2 jumps is fun.
Mm.
I don't like this little table thing.
Having not rode the new one, I would say for sure the old first straight, but I think
no shit.
The new third, fourth straights are probably better.
Oh, I forgot about the old third straight pro. It was just step up 4 monster rollers. Right?
Yeah, I would say the new one minus the first straight, probably.
Yeah, because if we're going full, like entire track to entire track, I'll take the old one. Just because I think overall you're getting something a little more consistent.
Second straight was better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny. I was talking to Shawnee Gain, one of our boys, and talking about speed runs. I was telling Sean's like, what race? Because I mean, Sean's he's not in the know anymore. He's not paying attention unless it's the World Cups, I don't think. But he's like, what race? Like Rock Hill. He's like, even he kind of was like, yeah, it's the kind of the good one of the year, isn't it? I was like, yeah, it is. Yeah. So
from MP112, will he wear a vest during morning practice? Great question.
MP112, Mish?
Yeah, we wear a vest or what?
If it's below 10, I throw the vest on. I think that's a rule for me. So Sunday practice, yeah, probably.
When it's fucking it's still dark outside. Yeah.
It's from Stouffville BMX. Ryan's favorite place to eat in Rock Hill. I think I know it.
Favorite place to eat in Rock Hill? I think it's the curveball. I'm gonna go Longhorn Steakhouse because
Dude,
I had it.
Not Sakura? Are you kidding me?
No, actually, no. I'm gonna go Longhorn Steakhouse.
That place is incredible.
Yeah, Sakura is good, but I had Longhorn Steakhouse before Worlds 2017 the night before, so I mean, his all time.
Kid popping off there. I mean,
BMX Wyland. Who's faster, Alex or Ryan?
Prime Alex. I'm gonna take Prime Alex.
Yeah, you got to be the honest man. I think there's a changing of the guards, and I think you're allowed to say it.
It's got to be Alex. Prime Alex. We're talking no neck brace Alex.
You want to know what I would have loved to see is a battle between Ryan right now and Alex Manchester 2019.
Oh yeah,
like that, good. Or Oldsmar. I would love to see these boys drop him in Oldsmar. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, because like Alex, like he races at home now. We just dilly dallies, and he's still with us, and it's super annoying.
It's incredible.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking guy.
Alex is a weapon.
Certified weapon, dude.
Ryan, what's your favorite TV show right now? Netflix or other streaming service?
I just finished Game of Thrones. I got a Game of Thrones late. I was telling James I was always like a Peaky Blinders guy, but I'd put Game of Thrones above Peaky Blinders. And right now it's Ted Lasso because it's streaming. So Ted Lasso's amazing.
Chipotle or In-N-Out?
Oh, Chipotle. And that's a dumb question.
Oh my God, this guy sucks.
You're going to go In-N-Out?
Absolutely.
I mean, what a fucking overrated place. So we're going to break it down.
Come on now.
Don't even talk to me, dude.
We don't even have In-N-Out in Canada. We have Chipotle's in Canada. We can go to Chipotle whenever we want. We can't go to In-N-Out whenever we want.
Yeah, but I've been to In-N-Out. I've been like, all right.
Chipotle's just okay these days.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, well, Ryan got a shitty one the other day. We went the other day. I got this chicken. I don't know what it was. I don't want to say it was adobo. I don't want to say it was some marinated chicken. And I got to say it was adobo. Okay. It was delicious. I want to, yeah.
No. Chipotle by my house. I go every few months. It's bad every time I go. Every few months, I'm like, you know what? This is going to be different. I'm going to get Chipotle, and it's just a 5 out of 10 every time, and it's frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I haven't had it enough.
You know what the best fucking Chipotle, dude? The best Chipotle you'll ever have is the new one in Poco by the Costco back home.
It's the best one. That's the only one I go for.
I don't understand if they sprinkle like crack in the bowl or what they do, but it is fucking incredible.
Dude, that Chipotle
you will ever have.
Dude, that Chipotle is like, it's like Canucks game beers. Like the Roger Arena beers that you have, you're like, I'm banged up after 2 Rogers Arena beers.
I don't understand how it's so good. Like, I don't know if it's the freshest ingredients, but it tastes fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's so good. It's like the only one we got locally, and I always go there. And it's like every time the chips are good. The chips are never bad, which is crazy.
elite Chipotle.
Yeah, it's elite.
Yeah.
Got the Costco too. Get the Costco dog.
You want to know the real OGs of life are Costco? They haven't raised their price on hot dogs in like 20 years. It's still $1.99 for a hot dog and a Coke.
It's the Augusta of like groceries.
Straight up. Yeah. They're good people. They keep their food the same price because everyone knows what they're getting. Everyone wants what they want.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, thanks for joining us, buddy. We appreciate
Dude.
chatting with you. I'm stoked to watch you two fucking stallions this weekend.
Hey, stoked to be on. You guys invite me on any time. Half the time I'm in the room and James does his podcast. And I don't even get the invite. I think he felt bad this time. He's like, well, can't get Ryan out now. So yeah, it was good. Thank you guys for having me on. I love being on the show.
Pro-gate, you're up. Ryan, does winning start with a great gate or a good gate? Probably a great one, right?
Great game. Only on
Absolutely.
Pro Gate too. That's the
Ryan,
best red Pro
you're
Gate.
gonna see him coming out of lane 6 through 8 this weekend, and it's gonna be a fucking miss.
He knows too. Hey, third pick, right? Where's Ryan? Probably 8.
No,
6.
You're gonna see this like
You're
you're gonna see this missile from the outside. It's Tougas.
This is your opportunity is now that I'm trying to do too is shout out who you want to shout out or whatever you want to shout out now. This is your opportunity.
Shout out Chase BMX, CF Grips, Connor, if you're listening, I love you. You're the man. Yeah, that's all I got, dude. That's all I got. What else I got to say? Shout out you guys for letting me on.
Much love, man. Thanks, bye.
Hey,
All right, guys, from YouTube chat. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week for the Rock Hill recap show. See you guys.
Later.